part 2 with my in-depth chat with Sir Lloyd Brown. My name's Elayne Smith and we're going to be going deep on his project album, Brown and Bubblers. I got my copy this morning and I haven't been able to take it out. It's been stuck on one track though. If I play it, you're going to know which one that it's stuck on because you know that I'm one of these. And it's one of those tracks. But anyway, we're going to save that one till last. So I'm going to go straight into it.
Yeah.
Reggae Party.
It's kind of reminiscent of a track that Bubblers made with Undivided Roots called Party Time. It's along the same chords. I wouldn't say it's the same chord progression, but it just felt so undivided, rootsy. It just evoked memories of listening to Party Night, and I wanted to make a tune called Reggae Party to just firmly establish, you know, the bedrock of my career being reggae music, you know, and me loving the vibes of a reggae party. I mean, who does not love a reggae party? You know what I'm saying? And all that it involves, from the juggling,
yeah,
to the raving,
yeah,
to the crubbing.
And then for the girls, when they finish fighting, you pat back your hair.
Yeah. And all these things as Prezi would say. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, you know, it tells the story literally of driving up to a reggae venue, linking up with your brethren who's a DJ, right? Imagining what tunes are in the box.
Yeah.
As he goes into the session, we go into the session and we're just taking in the vibes, you know what I'm saying? Songs have been written about that environment for years and years and years and years, and it won't be the first, it won't be the last. So Reggae Party was basically the anthem for the reggae party as we know it today.
Join me in on this reggae party, oh, oh. Scan me in on this reggae party, oh, oh. Rub up in on this reggae party, oh, oh. Join me in on this reggae party, oh. Saturday night is here again. I'm searching for a parking space to jam. We reach again. I'm just in time to meet my DJ friend. Hey yo, me brother, your record box look fat. Pack up with the latest tune, well hot. We not no time for the juggling. Full time we start raving.
It's fantastic, and that has a, you know, well, this whole album for me has a different kind of vibe to it, and I'm thinking that what's really lovely about your albums, the one consistency, more than one consistency, but it's a distinction of your voice. It doesn't matter what you're singing about,
right,
whether you want to be come over as a rootsy artist, or you want to come over as the sweet boy, you know. You talk a lot about chords.
Yeah.
Do you think that the music and the chords that you choose has an influence, even without the lyrics, have an influence in the way people react to it?
Definitely, definitely. So I see music in colours. So if I was to sing da, that's green.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of earthy, isn't it?
It's weird. It's kind of weird for me to for people to kind of always what I'm saying, but it's only people that knows what I'm saying always what I'm saying.
Because you started with the colour red.
Yeah. And
when you sung that chord, which was C,
something like yeah.
It sounded angry. It sounded rage.
No, because this is with major. That's the difference between major and minor. Major chords are very they're very upful chords, right? They're the basic chords, but minor chords are a variation. It's a variation of that chord, where the middle note basically goes down a semitone and it actually changes the color of the chords. So major chords, right, are very upful, very happy chords. Minor chords are very melancholy sounding chords. They evoke sadness and tension. I can't explain because I've only got one voice.
Right.
But if I was to have two more of me, I could explain it a whole lot better.
And if I could sing, I could probably help.
Yeah.
So, does all musician have to know the names of these chords?
No. I'm gonna cite my brethren, Michael Gordon. Now, he's a producer, right? And I know it seems odd for people to kind of get their head around it, but he's a producer by the way of how he wants certain things to sound,
right? Certain
instruments to sound, the notation of certain instruments, right? What he does by saying, I want the bass line to go doom 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 doom, baby I'm yours, right?
Yeah.
It's no different to Bubblers actually playing the same thing. It's just that it's more quicker for Bubblers to play it and record it than it is for Michael to basically go and have someone listen to it and get the notes and then play it.
Right.
It's not the time it takes, it's the application. That's what Michael does. And in producing music, Bubblers does what he basically does.
No, that's amazing. I remember we were speaking on camera about Michael Gordon's talent and how talented he is. Are we allowed to kind of like share a little bit of his? I know that you put that in one of your blogs, which I want to get to, by the way, because your blogs are very, very informative and we all enjoy them. But I was so fascinated with just this piece of history from Michael Gordon.
Well, that makes two of us because of my knowledge of Michael and how he came through the ranks in becoming the Lovers Rock artist that he is, or just the artist that he is today, and interviewing him for the vlog. And you know, you ask the usual questions like, well, you know, what was it like growing up, and you know, how did you get into music? He never had the standard resources, let's just say, of him being able to listen to music in the way that we normally do. Like our parents would have the beloved radiogram in the living room, in the front room, on a Saturday and Sunday, and play secular music on a Saturday and play gospel music on a Sunday. Michael never had that. They never had no stereo, no gram. All he had was the sound systems playing from miles away in Jamaica, because he lived in Jamaica as a little boy. So his connection with music was literally miles away from his ears, but it's still connected with him, to the point where when he first was invited to come to a studio, he didn't know what a drum kit was. He didn't, you know. But from then, fast forwarding to today, and realizing how he came to produce and compose some of the great songs himself and the Investigators has made, it gives me a newfound fascination with music. Do you know what I mean? Because not everybody basically makes music in the same way, and Michael being one of them just shows the rich tapestry that we all have within the reggae music fraternity.
Absolutely, which brings me nicely on to another beautiful track off the Brown and Bubblers album, the project album, Where There's Life.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because that's what it seems like you're saying to me. You don't have to have gone to a school to learn how to produce. You just have to have that ear. Unfortunately, some think they have an ear, you know, and
but that's not to say that they can't advance from that.
No, that's right, and that's, you know, well, how many people have we seen with just one hit and one hit only, and it's because they got out of bed the right day, or they heard it right, or they hit it right on that day. Who knows where music's going to come from? So Where There's Life, tell me about that track.
Well, Where There's Life is probably my favourite track of the entire album, simply because it's about me. And I don't mean it in a self-indulgent way. It was written as a result of my healing. You know, it was written as a result of my healing, and in turn, you know, finding its rightful people and the music taking its rightful part, because you know it's a universal saying that where there's life there's hope. Do you know what I mean? But it's not until you're in a hopeless position, you know, in a position where you're just mired in adversity and all of these things that puts you in darkness. And I don't mean darkness from an evil standpoint. I mean darkness as in blindness, you know, not seeing a way out from what you're internally going through, and to reach a point where basically you know who your friends are, you can count your blessings, and you're basically thankful. See, it's a thankful thing again. Mm-hmm. You're thankful that you didn't take a certain path that might not have resulted in having any liberty, having any life, having any purpose in life. And for me, it was a cathartic song to write, very cathartic song. And it was a song that just echoes what a lot of people go through, but in my own way.
In your own way. And so when writing that song, what did you say to Bubblers? Give me, what was the instructions?
No, there was no instructions at all. It was another track that the great Canon Dean Fraser played on, and it was just. It was just a horn line that was running through the track, and you know, Bubblers' application to just writing a song with a beginning, a middle, and an end, not just a 2-card 1-drop thing, you know what I mean? But it was a track that it was up for. Going back to the chord thing again, chord, it had like a folk chord progression. And it reminded me of that tune by Sam Smith, actually. It just had that kind of vibe. But when you hear folk songs always have a chord progression where it's kind of upful and a gospel kind of vibe.
Did you accept, and you know, how was it? Did you both deliberate over the end product?
Bubblers basically, he just had like a box of chocolates and saying, all right, take the whole of them. But for me, it was like I could only take 10 because I used to make 19-track albums, 20-track albums, and I just can't be doing that no more. So I just wanted to basically condense it into a 10-track album.
I'm hearing you. All right, so look, let's go off with a track that I think is apt for the end of part, what are we on, 2? All That and More. Tell me about that track.
All That and More, I have to say I was on an Ed Sheeran tip when I heard the rhythm track for that, because it's not a Bubblers tune, it's not a Bubblers rhythm per se, and I just heard an Ed Sheeran vibe to it. I can't explain it, but I wanted to put my own take on his take of a tune, and that was basically it. That was the result of that.
All That and More. See you in part 3.
With microphone in hand, I want you to know what's been said by many people many times before. It's not business, it's personal. From me to you, you are to me. Everything